Hey, it's me, Baba33, and I'm here to give my quick thoughts on the recent Nintendo Direct Mini that happened on January 11, 2018. Normally, I don't make videos about Directs, mainly because I either don't have the time or don't have any thoughts about them, but this time I do because there is a bit of controversy between the fan base. Some liked it, some hate it. Uh, Mainly because they didn't show enough big hitters like Fire Emblem, Pokemon, or whatever games they were expecting. But for me, I do have my ups and downs about this direct. Overall, I was kind of pleased. I mean, I knew compared to 2017 that they weren't going to match that. I wish that Nintendo told us that it was going to be a mini direct beforehand. They decide to show the video, out of nowhere without any time given. They usually give like a day notice, but this caused people to either not watch it in time and pretty much have it spoiled on the internet, whether it be on Facebook or Twitter, and therefore the surprise is not there for them anymore. Fortunately, I was there to catch it in time and remain spoiler free. So I had more enjoyment watching this direct than probably most of the viewers out there. But anyways, let's get with the games first. The first one to show off is a port of The World Ends With You, originally on the Nintendo DS, and I believe it had a version on the iOS. Now it's making a Nintendo Switch version. This one will have touch screen controls and or the option of using the pointer on the Joy-Con. I never played that game, but I know people is going to be excited, and hopefully this game does pretty well to get its own sequel. Now get used to me talking about ports and remakes, because that is a common thing in this direct mini. Now the next thing to talk about is the Pokemon DLC. At first, I was a bit surprised because I didn't think there'd be any DLC for this game, and well, if there's gonna be DLC for Pokemon Tournament Deluxe, maybe there might be some for Mario Kart 8. Who knows? But pretty much they're going to announce two fighters and two support characters. The fighters are that sword Pokemon Anti-Sass. Uh, Excuse my pronunciation. And the second fighter is going to be Blastoise. Um I'm not sure how much it's going to cost, but I don't know. I think they would have been better off just just let that game be by itself, and maybe in a couple of years to make an actual sequel with a lot more fighters. But for those who are a fan of those games, you got more characters to play as. Now, next, I believe, was Kirby Star Allies. Pretty much, I knew that in spring 2018 that the Nintendo Switch, that Kirby Star Allies was going to be the biggest game that they're going to be on there. Pretty much, with the exception of the World End With You, all these games are being mentioned are either coming out from January to maybe June at the latest, but at least May for sure. So this mini direct is focusing on the the first quarter of video games. They didn't really talk about anything beyond that, and just speculation that there's going to be another direct focusing on games that's coming out in the fall or the holidays. So fingers crossed on that one. But anyways, back to Kirby Star Allies. Looks pretty great. I'm already sold in the game, and I think it's gonna do pretty well. Of course, it's not gonna move consoles like Mario or Zelda, but I do think it will still keep the sales at a steady pace. The next port that surprises me is Hyrule Warriors that came out in the Nintendo Wii U and 3DS. Now it's coming out for the Switch. Which includes both contents from both games. This one caught me by surprise, mainly because we already had a Warriors game, Fire Emblem Warriors, which pretty much plays the same. I played the Wii U version of Hyrule Warriors, and I also got Fire Emblem Warriors, which I'm planning to do a review on in the near future, hopefully by next week as of this recording. But anyways, I feel like this is too soon. I believe Hyrule Warriors is scheduled to come out in May or June, and that's like about 6 or 7 months apart from Fire Emblem Warriors. Like that just seems way too soon. It's not even a year yet. But if you like the Warriors games, then more games for you, I guess. Now the next game is Mario Tennis Aces. Uh, I'm not that big fan of I'm not that big of a fan of sports games. Excuse me. This is weird because I really like Mario Power Tennis on the Nintendo 64. And to be fair, it does seem like it's going to play more like that. But it also increases story mode, which, caught my interest. And I'm also assuming they're going to use the motion controls of the Joy-Cons. So if there's, nothing else around, during that time when that game comes out, I'll probably pick it up, eventually. Maybe not on the first day, but probably sometime during December. Now the next game is East 8. I know it's pronounced East and not Y. Pretty much thanks to Mike Maverick, who I believe is doing the Let's Play of the first game, as of this recording. So go check that out. But anyways, it looks like a pretty cool game. Definitely going to attract the Xenoblade 2 crowd. I believe this game is also available on PlayStation 4 and PC. In fact, it may be available now on those platforms, but if you only have a Nintendo Switch, this looks like a fun game. Maybe I get it in the near future. I really like my games to be a bit, well, maybe not too short, but uh, definitely a game that I don't want to spend too much time on. But again, I think this game looks pretty fun for the most part. I apologize if I'm stuttering or pausing a bit. I'm doing this a bit unscripted. But the next thing they talk about is a free update on Super Mario Odyssey. It's pretty much the Yoshi's Balloon Roll, where you have 30 seconds to hide a balloon and 30 seconds to find somebody else's balloons. If you have an online connection, of course. It seems pretty fun. And they're also going to add some new costumes along the way. uh, I guess I'm interested to see if they're going to make some new worlds to play in. Of course, those will most likely cost money, which I'm fine with that. But this is a nice little addition at least. The next game is SNK Hermans, which is a all female fighters. Uh, Game doesn't interest me that much, but it looks pretty decent. Not much to talk about on my end. And they announced a new character in Mario Plus Rabbids Kingdom, Donkey Kong. I'm not sure if that's I'm assuming it's paid because it's also creating a new world and story, I believe. Uh, Again, I'm not say, I won't say I'm the biggest fan of RPGs, even though a game like that does seem to interest me, like the turn-based style, where you take turns. But I just mainly play Pokemon, and I think that's pretty much it. I'm probably gonna give Fire Emblem a try, when that comes out for the Switch. Uh, I guess there was like so many games coming out in 2017. I had to skip out on some of them, and that was one of the games that I skipped. Um, Maybe I can get that game in the near future, sometime in 2018. But for right now, it does seem like a decent update. Next is Payday 2, coming out in February 25th. Uh, I think that's around the same time Bayonetta 1 and 2 is coming out, so I'm probably going to get Bayonetta over Payday 2. Which is strange. Bayonetta 1 and 2 was not mentioned in this mini direct, which uh, makes me believe that there's going to be another direct in the near future, either in late January or early February. Nintendo usually like to promote their games as well, maybe not as much as possible, but especially in directs. Now, the next game they talked about is Faye and Celeste, both games being published by EA. Faye looks pretty good. It's very good looking. I guess I'm wondering how it would look on the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X, assuming it's coming out on the Xbox One X. Uh, and Celeste is an old school 2D platformer. I guess ever since the Star Wars Battlefront 2 thing that happened with EA, I feel pretty hesitant to give that company my money, even though most of the game they showed off in this direct looks pretty good and pretty fun. But at a principle, and it's not like that I bought Star Wars Battlefront 2, but still I just don't like companies try to take advantage of their consumers, whether it's legal or not. But I don't know. Maybe I get those games in the near future uh, when I change my mind about EA. But right now, I'm kind of boycotting them. Next, to talk about Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Another port from a Wii U game. Like, even though I bought this game on the Wii U, I don't mind buying it again. It seems like it's a fun game that it's definitely fun to have to take with you. I can see myself enjoying that game on road trips, or just traveling from A to B. Pretty much just going around shopping. But anyways, I'm willing to double down. They also introduced a new playable character that's pretty much an easy mode. It makes the game look way too easy. Uh, Most likely not going to play as that character. And finally, the last game to talk about is Dark Souls Remaster. Pretty much a remake of the first game. And I'm glad that's coming out to Nintendo Switch. I never really bought the Dark Souls games. Heard it's pretty hard. Maybe I'll get that someday, but that's how they ended direct with pretty much mostly ports and updates. Now, originally, I I liked the direct, and I still do, but now that you mentioned that it's mostly ports, remakes, DLC or updates, it does kind of weaken the direct a little bit, and I think because of that, people are downing the Nintendo Switch in 2018. Now, I knew that there wasn't going to be a huge presentation like they did in 2017, because they tried to get people to buy the consoles, and now that the console's doing pretty well, and I think probably by the time of this recording, actually outsell the lifetime. Actually outsell the lifetime of the Wii U. I think Nintendo is going to take it a bit easy in 2018. I mean, they're still going to try, of course. It's just that, it's not going to be 2017 strong. Now, I do believe that there will be another direct in the near future, but uh, even if that doesn't happen and the next direct doesn't come in, March until March or April. I think that's still plenty of time for Nintendo to promote their big games coming out in the fall or holiday. Uh, which games would that be? I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure Fire Emblem is going to be one of them. I'm not sure about the rumors of Animal Crossing and Smash Brothers, even though I am somewhat excited about them, and I'm still really on Pokemon Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4 coming out in 2018. But I do think that this direct was pretty decent, but hopefully they have another one following after that. This is me, Bobby 33, and I catch you guys later.